Williams-Sonoma, and where does India figure in its plans for growth? Joining me now is Laura Alber, the CEO of the company. Laura, always a pleasure. Many thanks for joining me here on CNBC-TV18. I want to start by talking to you about the outlook for growth, Laura. In your earnings call for the second quarter, you said you're just not seeing what others are talking about. It's an increasingly different macroeconomic environment, inflation at multi-decadal highs at this point in time, and that's squeezing consumer spending and consumer wallets. But that's not being reflected in your performance, at least for now. How have you managed?
I think it's a lot about innovation. We have incredible brands, and we bring specialized services, design services to our customers, so we help you decorate your house. But also, we're always staying relevant to consumer trends and lifestyle trends, and each of our brands has very specific growth plans that they're executing against, and that's really giving us more growth than I think our peers are seeing.
And you feel confident of being able to achieve that $10 billion target that you've set out for yourself by 2024?
Absolutely.
Laura, let's talk about India. You're in a partnership with Reliance Brands. You've opened 2 stores in Mumbai, and of course Pottery Barn has gone online as well. Both from a consumption perspective, from a growth perspective, as well as a sourcing perspective. Where does India stack up for you in your plans?
We've been doing business through sourcing in India for decades, and it's one of our favorite places to do business because of the incredible designs that are done here. And so I'm thrilled that we can bring our complete lifestyle brands to market in retail format, but also online, which is really an incredible option for consumers around the world. And it's interesting that people are, from California to Mumbai. We were in Dubai the other day as well. The same design trends are happening around the globe. And India has just boomed in terms of its growth. And so it's a perfect time. We are so thrilled to be here. I'm in Mumbai now, and I just saw our West Elm store, and I couldn't be more proud.
So what kind of expansion do you believe you are going to deliver on here in India, given the potential of the market and given the growth opportunity? There is plenty of headroom at this point in time. You've just gotten started. What kind of expansion plans have you chalked out?
Sure. We have 2 West Elm stores. We're about to open Pottery Barn and Pottery Barn Kids. And, there's many great cities that we are going to bring our brands, and we have our websites up. And that's, as I said, that's really complementary. We see that the multi-channel cross-brand shopper is the most valuable because people have many different things in their home. And so we want to be able to have you research online, go to our stores, use our design services, and then, go to the other brands. And that's a really huge opportunity. How big it can be, I don't know, but I think it's going to be a real game changer in the home furnishings industry. For India, because there really, there isn't anyone else doing what we're doing. As you go around the market, you see, people doing single categories. There's some accessories, but you don't see people bringing it together in a lifestyle format like we're doing. And I think it really gives consumers confidence when they shop to be able to see full lifestyle settings, the bedroom, the living room, and then, to have that design help, they can actually go to their homes and help them put together these products in their own homes. So I think it's going to be incredibly successful. We're off to a super start, and we've just begun.
Something that as you pointed out, began many, many decades ago was sourcing from India for your brands globally. Can you leave me with the value of what you are sourcing at this point in time? And given the opportunities that you see, as well as the, what we are seeing, a global sort of reshaping, realignment of supply chains, are we likely to see you source more from India?
I hope so. We started with textiles, and we've moved from pillows and bedding and drapes now to doing incredible furniture. We've always had a big rug business here as well, but we are seeing so much innovation in this market, and we can use any type of wood substrate now, and mixed materials are a real specialty here to bring iron in with the woods for furniture and accessories. And So there's such a huge opportunity to continue to grow here. And as I said, it's just an amazing creative community of designers. I'm just always in awe when I come and see how they interpret our trends. They'll see what we're doing. And actually, funny story, the head of our design, our chief design officer, is an Indian woman named Monica Bhargava, and she grew up here in Delhi. And she has been the head of our design for a long time now. But just to show you how, connected we are to this community, Monica has been the leader in design for the global brands for a long time now.
Well, it's nice to see that Indian connection. But Laura, I want to get a sense from you on what you're picking up in terms of trends at this point in time. For now, you haven't seen an impact on account of the sort of shrinking wallet size yet on your business. But, we are, at least in the FMCG business, starting to see a little bit of down trading. We are starting to see discretionary spends come off. Anything that you're concerned about, any signals that you're picking up from the market at this point in time?
Yeah, we did our earnings recently. We did say that sales have moderated from last year, of course. I mean, that was a very unique time with the pandemic and everyone stuck at home, and we got an outsized portion of their wallet, but we're still growing, and that's exciting. People during the pandemic learned to cook, entertain at home. They got more comfortable working from home, and I believe hybrid work is here to stay. And so as you spent more time in your home, that environment became more important to you. And so you started to improve things. And at the time, if you think about it, you just bought whatever you could. But now people are turning, and quality is very, very important to people. And they're looking for, what is the material that things are made of? Why should I pay this price? And they're looking for things that last. So in terms of, as you asked me, global design trends, there's so many different design trends. I don't think there's a one size fits all for the Indian market. I think like any global design community, there's a lot of different options and aesthetics, and actually home size that people need to be served for. But the thing that I think is a real trend right now is this lifestyle to eat at home, work at home, and look for quality products.
Laura, one of the things that we saw being accelerated through the course of the pandemic was really the growth in e-commerce and the adoption of digital technology, not just within organizations, but to try and reach out to your consumer. And you've been down that path well before the pandemic. I want to understand from you, what have been the big lessons, the big learnings, and where are you now in that journey?
Yeah, so, in our United States business, we're close to 70% e-commerce as a percent total for the total corporation. And our stores are, incredible experiential places that people love to go to. And I actually believe the stores, as the face of the brand, give the consumers the trust to buy furniture online because they've seen the product, they see how beautiful it is. And whether it's that sofa or another sofa, then they go back home online and they purchase it. So what we try to do online is create a 3D experience, literally and figuratively, if you will, that people can really review the product details. We have a lot of capabilities. We show them the product in different types of homes, in different types of settings, lots of photography, and we use UGC as well so that they can see it in real people's homes. And this is what makes the experience very rich. We prefer lifestyle imagery to simple solos because we think that's a richer experience as well. And we spend a lot of money and time taking beautiful pictures of product. And I'm thrilled that we're bringing that to this market too, and that the consumers here will be able to be inspired as much from the website as they do in our stores.
In terms of investments, especially on the technology side, as well as to continue to drive sales, any specific sort of allocation to up tech capabilities at this point in time, given the fact that you've already covered a significant distance in your tech journey, but is that work done or is there more to go?
Oh, there's always more to go, and that's a big focus of ours. It's a big focus of Reliance Brands as well, to really build this e-commerce platform. And in fact, was one of the reasons we chose them as a partner, is that they have access to such a great tech platform and really speak our language in terms of what we're doing to market online and also to transact online and to inspire online.
So, Laura, if I could ask you, on your dashboard, on your CEO dashboard at this point in time, what are the red flags that you're watching out for? But more importantly, what are the opportunities that you're going to chase after?
In terms of our global expansion, we see a lot of opportunity in e-commerce, as we talked about, and also in just continuing the experience in our stores and giving services that others don't offer. In each of the brands, there's a roadmap, there's a parade of innovation that's happening in each of our brands. It's so exciting, and we've launched amazing collaborations in the US market. We're going to do the same in the Indian market. Just very excited about these cool collaborators who are going to work with us. And then at the same time, just making the delivery experience seamless to the customer so that the whole thing is a wonderful experience and not a difficult one.
Laura, I'll end by asking you, through the pandemic, we've seen so much change. I mean, the workflow and the workforce have seen fundamental changes, and in many cases, perhaps to an extent, irreversible changes. But from a consumer experience perspective, especially with your experience of leading this brand, what do you believe will be the trends to watch out for, not just in the way that the consumer is engaging with your brand, but more importantly, the problems that you hope to solve for in the future?
Our mission is to enhance people's lives at home. I mean, it's a big, lofty goal, right? So we want to do good in the communities where we do business, and we work really hard to lead in sustainability. So we're one of, on the top Barron's list of sustainable 100 companies, with only home furnishings company on that list. I'm very proud of the work that we're doing with our vendors and with our supply chain around the world to create a greener future. This is very important. Also, diversity, inclusion is a key part of what we do. We have some of the leading gender diversity numbers that you'll find anywhere. We've won a lot of awards for that. And we want people to, be able to excel no matter who they are and where they're from or what their gender is. And this is a really key aspect of our culture is being generous and inclusive. And we walk the walk, and we are very proud to continue to set an example and hopefully lead in these areas. That said, there's always so much work to be done. So I'm not saying we're perfect, but this is very important to me, is to continue to leave a legacy that makes the world a better place because we did business in it.
Speaking of making the world a better place and bridging the gap, there's a large gap that needs to be bridged when we talk about gender parity, Laura, and I know that this is an issue that you're passionate about. You just spoke about making the organization a lot more diverse and inclusive, and unfortunately, we haven't seen the needle move much on this issue globally. So what has worked in your experience? If I were to ask you about the top 3 things from your playbook to make the organization more diverse and inclusive, what's worked?
I think, being optimistic about it is a really important posture, is to say, what you just said, what's worked versus what's not working. I think that's a wonderful approach. And, we try to set an example of leading with excellence versus anything else and putting talent ahead of everything else. And this is also something we share with our partners around the world, is this attitude, which I think is really good for business. It's a game changer, because why would you want to cut out 50% of the population and their talent if you don't see the talent? And so we've reached these numbers over a long period of time, so much so that it's really ingrained in everything we do. And it's important to talk about, because I know other companies are not there, but I believe that as we continue to put women, and different types of women forward and have them talk about leadership like we are today, I think that sets a great example for young women around the world to say, I can do that, I can relate to her, I can see myself in that role.
Well, I think you do that for a lot of women. Laura, it's been an absolute pleasure. We wish you the very best of luck with your plans here in India. And, it's great to have you here. Thanks very much for joining us on CNBC TV 18.
Thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you.